This is Gielinor. If you're watching this video, it's either because somebody you love sent this to you because they really want you to start playing, you're a returning player, or you're a brand new adventurer that just wants a little bit of guidance for this vast and beautiful world we call Gielinor. And of course, to all of you I say, welcome to Old School RuneScape. Welcome back everyone, and thank you for tuning in for episode 2 of A Newcomer's Guide to Gielinor. I know our first episode was pretty short and covered some pretty obvious and basic things, but sometimes those small things can be huge for someone who is brand new to the game or gaming in general. So today we will get into the weeds a little more and hopefully help you feel a little bit more confident about your adventure in Gielinor. Without further ado, here comes lesson 2 of our Newcomer's Guide, Combat Skills. So like I mentioned in the first video, I like to categorize the 24 skills into 3 buckets: combat, gathering, and secondary skills. So let's start today's lesson with number 1, combat. So combat is often regarded as the most fun set of skills in RuneScape, mainly because as you progress and get into bossing and raiding, that is some of the most intense and demanding content in the game. But today we're going to go over the fundamentals of combat, so that you can better understand how these skills work and coincide with one another. Okay, so let's start with our melee. I know some people don't like the way I say melee, but melee combat skills. So these include attack, strength, defense, and hit points. Your attack level will impact your accuracy with weapons, but also most weapons require an attack level to wield. You level up your attack by using the accurate attack option on melee weapons. Next, we have strength, which most would argue is the most important of the melee combat skills. Your strength level determines how high your character can hit, so most players choose to prioritize strength once they have a weapon they're comfortable with. You can get away with high strength and low attack if you're fighting enemies with low defense levels, but that's for a more advanced lesson. Let's go ahead and stick to cows and crabs for now. Strength experience can be gained using the aggressive attack style on melee weapons. And lastly, let's talk about defense. Most people find this the more useless, especially for those darn berserker builds. Anyway, defense is what determines the likelihood of you getting hit. It does not reduce the amount an enemy can hit on you, it just lowers the chance that you will get hit more often. Defense levels are required for most armor, especially melee armor. Defense experience can be gained by using the defensive attack style on a melee weapon. You may choose to train all 3 styles at once, which is very rare for people to do, but if you prefer to level up this way, you would use the controlled attack style on a weapon. For every 1 damage you deal, you get 4 experience to the respective skill that you're training. And if you're using the controlled attack style, you gain 1.3333, repeating of course, experience for each of the 3 skills. Speaking of 1.3333, you will also gain 1.3333, or I'll just start saying 1 1/3, for each damage you deal no matter what combat style you're using to your hit points level, which of course determines the amount of health your character has. Okay, I know melee was pretty long-winded, but let's move on to the next combat style, ranged. Ranged is by far a fan favorite due to its versatility, safety, accuracy, and damage output. Range can be trained by using any range weapon and follows the same rule as melee. For every 1 damage you deal using the accurate or rapid styles on your range weapon, you will gain 4 range experience. The exception being the long range option. That will split your XP between ranged and defense. And then it offers 2 XP for each 1 damage dealt, and still giving you the 1.333 or 1 1/3 HP experience. Short bows are usually also the best option when you're starting, and knives and darts will give you more damage output and faster XP in general. You'll want to use the best ammo you can afford and currently use for higher damage, but ammo can add up quick, so make sure to spend wisely and get yourself an accumulator when possible. This is a members only item obtained from a quest that can save you a lot of ammo. Next, we're going to move on to magic. Again, we're just going to cover the basics here because magic has a lot of caveats to cover. But as you begin your journey in Gielinor, make yourself familiar with all of your magic spells. You'll notice the spellbook is vast and it's very easy to get lost in it. But the ones you'll be sticking to the most are your elemental spells, teleport spells, and a few other notable ones like telegrab and high alchemy. You can hover over the spell that you want to cast to see which runes are necessary to cast it. Runes can be purchased in rune shops throughout the game, at the Grand Exchange, or crafted using the rune crafting skill. You can also wield any of the 4 elemental staves to have an unlimited supply of that rune. The way magic works when it comes to XP is a little bit different than ranged and melee. For magic, you get experience just for casting the spell, but when you use offensive spells like the elemental spells I mentioned, you get 2 XP for every 1 damage dealt, along with the usual 1 1/3 for hit points. But if you're wielding a staff, you can auto-cast the spell. And choosing the defensive option is actually beneficial because you gain 1 defense XP and 1 1/3 mage XP for every damage dealt, thus technically earning slightly more experience overall. As we continue down these lessons, there's still a lot to cover when it comes to magic since there are 4 spellbooks and a multitude of staves throughout the game. But for now, yeah, you can use a staff to autocast. Or click a spell and click on the enemy you want to attack with that spell. It's a little more tedious, but some people prefer to do that. Alrighty, we have one more combat skill to cover, and that is prayer. As you learned in Tutorial Island, there are multiple prayers you can unlock as your prayer level progresses. Your prayer level also impacts your combat level minimally, but as you advance in the game, you'll come to notice how valuable these prayers are. But for now, let's cover how to level it up. Unlike the other combat skills, prayer is leveled up by bearing the bones of your defeated enemies. I know that sounds crazy, but that's RuneScape for you. Different types of bones offer different amounts of XP. But before you go and bury those bones, do keep in mind that there are ways to multiply the amount of experience that you get per bone, and this can be done using altars at player-owned houses or at the Chaos Altar in the wilderness. You can choose to just bury the bones for the regular amount of XP, or stick around in a future video where we'll cover the various training methods. Or of course, you can just use the Old School RuneScape wiki. Okay, I did not realize how long a basic explanation of the combat skills would take. So we're gonna cut today's lesson off here so you don't get bored listening to me. I understand that if you're watching this, you're probably brand new, and if anything, you're probably being fed this information by your buddies. So I don't want to give you a 30-minute video that's gonna get you bored, or you look down at your phone at the link your friend just shared and you see 30 minutes and you're like, heck no, I don't want to listen to a 30-minute video about a game that I'm not even interested in. So again, that's why I'm keeping these relatively short, because I do understand that people have attention spans that I do want to respect. And again, most of the time, these videos are being watched by people that are being forced to watch them because they really want you to play. So please, I encourage you, try this game out. I know we've only covered the basics so far, like movement and then now combat and how that works, and there's still so much more to cover, but trust me, it gets really good. I love this game. I've been playing it since I was 11 years old, and 23 years of RuneScape is the best thing ever. And my wife agrees, but she does have a lot of questions, which is honestly what inspired this video. But anyway, I'm rambling now, so if you want to keep following along, I'll be continuing this series covering more of the basics. You're still in the beginning stages of your journey, so I don't want to overload you. Next lesson, we'll cover primary and secondary skills. Again, thank you for watching and have fun out there. You guys are the best. Thank you for all the support. I just honestly can't thank you enough to all of the followers on TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. Just you guys have been amazing. And I'm rambling again, but honestly, I really do appreciate you, and I really hope this helps somebody. And again, just thank you. I can't thank you enough. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your time out in Gielinor.